Hi guys, you've probably seen some comparisons of the Sony FDR-X3000 action camera and the Osmo Action, the newer camera. But for off-road motorcycle riding, we have some different needs than the typical user of an action cam, like on a mountain bike or skiing or surfing or something like that. So I thought it'd be useful to make a video that shows side-by-side footage of these two cameras on an off-road motorcycle. So there are things I like and dislike about each of these cameras, but the main purpose of this video is to just show the side-by-side footage, but I will mention a few of the things I like and dislike. The Sony FDR-X3000 came out in 2016, and its notable feature is it uses optical image stabilization instead of electronic like every other manufacturer. And one advantage of that is it doesn't crop the image, so you can still get a wide field of view. And this camera shoots up to 4K 30 FPS, and it's a popular camera for off-road motorcycle riding, and even big channels like Everride uses this camera exclusively on his channel, and his videos turn out great. There are some things that could be improved about this camera though, like the battery life could be better. It could give you better feedback when you're recording. Sometimes you're not sure when you're recording or not. When it's on your helmet, you can't see the camera. And it uses proprietary Sony mounts. The camera also costs $370, so it is not cheap. The DJI Osmo Action camera came out in 2019, so it's much newer. And it's over $100 cheaper than the Sony. So that's pretty significant. Like the GoPro, it uses electronic stabilization, and DJI calls it rock steady. This camera has good battery life, and it has one button to record, which powers on the camera and starts recording, and it has a feedback beep, which you can turn up the volume on and make it loud enough so you can hear it when your helmet is on and your motorcycle is running, which is really nice because then you know the camera is recording. After seeing that footage, one thing I notice is the audio is very poor quality, and you hear a lot of wind noise, and this is especially true with the Sony. It seems like once the motorcycle gets moving at all, it's just the audio is completely maxed out with wind noise. You can't hear the motorcycle. The Osmo is better, but you still do hear the wind noise. But at low speeds, at least you can hear the motorcycle engine somewhat. On the stabilization, both the Sony and the DJI, the stabilization works great on them, on both. But I do notice that the Osmo seems to be more steady. It's almost like the camera is mounted on rails. But do we want that for our off-road motorcycle ride footage? Because when I'm on the motorcycle, I feel a lot of bouncing around. And when I watch video that looks like the camera's mounted on rails, that isn't really what I was experiencing when I was going over those baby head-sized rocks. So maybe I give the nod to the Sony on that, because you do see a little bit more bouncing. And it would be nice if companies like DJI would give us, instead of rock steady, maybe a less steady. Something that would crop the screen less and give us a wider field of view and less stabilization, because sometimes we don't want all the bumps stabilized out. That's just my opinion. Maybe your opinion's different on that. The field of view on the Sony is wider, and in my opinion, that's just better. I like to have a wide field of view, and the main reason for that is the angle. For example, if you ever mounted a helmet cam, it's hard to know how high or low to point it, because if you point it too low, you'll see just the ground. If you point it too high, you'll see just the sky. Well, that problem is worse when you have a narrow field of view. And also, it's just nice to see trees and rocks going by on the sides. It kind of gives a sensation of speed when you have a wide field of view. So this Sony camera is not mine. This is borrowed from my friend Dan. But this is a good camera. I would like to have a Sony camera, but I don't have one. This DJI Osmo Action is mine, but I haven't had it very long. I'm still experimenting with it and forming an opinion on it. I don't have an opinion about it yet. So I hope this side-by-side footage comparison helped you make any decisions. I hope you learned something, and thanks for watching.